Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and I waited over 2 weeks to make this video because I wanted to make it with a cool head because my initial reaction was not all that positive. Now that I've calmed down a little bit, I'm ready to share with you a conversation I had with a dealer who is very close to me, and then a conversation I had with the manufacturer about their policy in regards to pricing. Now, as some of you might know, I do refresh several sites that sell used guitars on a daily basis, one of which being Reverb, and I happened to see this listing pop up for a brand new John 5 Fender Signature model that typically MSRPs at $2,099.99 on Fender's website. However, as you can see from this listing, that was not exactly the price that the dealer was asking for it, and it was a brand new, not a used item, and this was not a third party. This is an actual Fender dealer, so I decided to message them. And giving credit where credit is due, they got back to me really quick, and they basically said, we're just following Fender's policy. So of course, that led me to say to myself, you know what? I need to find out what Fender's policy is, because I remember something that happened a few years ago in regards to Fender and their pricing, which we're going to hit at later in this video. And this would be, I don't know, kind of awkward to say the least if they were okay with this. So I did email Fender. Generally speaking, dealers are able to set their own pricing. This was a limited run model, and you will notice the aftermarket price on these has since doubled. Fender may or may not be featuring another production run in the future. Please stay tuned, blah, blah, blah. Now, I know the gut instinct from a few people that I've spoken to about this has been putting all of the blame on the dealer for being that greedy in the first place and listing the guitar up for $6,500. However, I look at it like this. First of all, if you're the dealer and you do that, even if it does sell, if people figure out that you are willing to do that, that's going to significantly decrease the likelihood that they would want to come back or purchase anything from you whatsoever. As I said, this specific shop is about 90 minutes away from me, and they do have some brands that aren't available at other locations near me. However, after this, there's not a chance in hell that I'd be giving them my business. To me, the party that shares the majority of the blame to me for this even being possible to begin with is Fender Guitars. There are other dealers and other manufacturers who have had those relationships cut entirely because the dealers have done exactly what was done in this. The manufacturers caught onto it and they said, no, we're not going to let you do that. We're pulling you out of it. I've spoke to people that worked for Sam Ash. They lost Boss in the 90s, they lost Mesa Boogie for quite some time, and there are a plethora of other examples of this. Because Fender will allow them to do that, what's to stop them from doing it? And considering the fact that nowadays everything is limited run, everything is special this and special that, whether it is a guitar, an amplifier, or a pedal, knowing that you have that in your back pocket to be able to charge whatever you want from this bigger, well-selling brand, that's a blue chip for a dealer here and there, as I stated earlier, although there may be ramifications in the long run. Right now, it's all about maximizing your dollar. However, the most damning thing against Fender in this example is not anything that's related to the John 5 or that specific dealer. It has to do with the fact that in 2020, they were fined £4.5 million by the UK government for not allowing dealers to show discounts on their websites, meaning they had to list the prices what Fender dictated. They were not allowed to put products on sale that were not authorized to be on sale from Fender. And the only reason the fine was £4.5 million and not more was because Fender pled guilty to it. Had they not, it would have been upwards of, I think, 13 or 14 million pounds. But at the end of the day here, these two intertwining incidents really say to me that the suits at Fender, not the hardworking people who are building these guitars, who are trying their best to give the customers as good of a product with the resources and the time available given to them to do so, it really isn't about the consumer at all to them. And I get it. Private equities, that's rarely the case. It's all about the bottom line. But this is the music industry. There's a lot of awesome competition out there who's not going to do stuff like this. And just, it's really, really frustrating to see a company that I've loved just kind of end up in the situation they're in. Now, I'd like to hear from you guys. Please leave me a comment. I want to know if I'm alone on this one. Do you find this to be unethical or shady? Or do you say, you know what, fair play, that's capitalism, it is what it is? I think if Fender didn't just have that massive guilty plea in the UK for the price fixing, I don't think I'd be as harsh on this one, but it is what it is, man. Just not a good look whatsoever, at least to these eyes right here. If you found this informative or useful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy, everybody.